Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you today? Jennifer Delatorre here. Welcome to 7 Secrets to Building Six Figures. So if you've joined us today, you obviously have a business and you're working on building it and you're not sure what you're doing wrong. You're not sure how you could produce more money into your business, and you want to find out what these 7 secrets are. So this is actually pretty exciting because this is the first time me and Joe go do a live training together. So let me introduce myself to you in case you don't already know. I am known as Nice Girl Jen, of Nice Girls Finish Last, and what I do is help new women entrepreneurs kickstart their business. So I cover everything from marketing to sales to using social media effectively. Just today, actually, with a new client, I helped double her following fan page, and that was just in about an hour or so. So that's a little bit of what I do. And since that's what I focus on and what I help my clients with, I wanted to first share with you tools when promoting online that you can go and use right away as soon as we get off of this live, and then I'll have Joe come on board and share with you what those 7 secrets. If you haven't already, make sure you've got pen and paper and get ready to write these down. So here's the problem that I see, and I actually posted this earlier today on Facebook, that many people will join a business or start up a business of their own, and then they get so excited that they just start blasting and promoting all over social media, and they haven't even taken the time to build any kind of foundation to their business. They haven't even come up with any type of strategy to their marketing. People see you just posting and posting and posting, and you have no idea what to do when you find a lead. You have no idea what to do on even how to get a lead, and then you can't turn them into customers, and that's frustrating, and then you don't know what you're doing wrong. Everybody that's watching you online is starting to get sick of seeing you, and we don't want that to happen, right? So I'm going to share with you some 5 simple rules to remember when promoting online using social media. Since obviously we are all on social media, it's a free tool to use for the most part. So if you're going to be using it, then you should at least be using it right. So let's go into number 1. Write these down. Know who you're marketing to. What does this mean? This means, what is your target? And if you have no idea even what a target is, then you've come to the right training, and you're going to want to reach out to one of us detail and help with it. But basically, who is your message for? And before you think, wait, you know what, Jen? My product is actually for everybody. Guess what? It's not. And if that's how you're marketing and that's how you're promoting it online, I can already tell you you're going to fail. We are, by the way, disclaimer, a no BS group. So if I tell you something that sounds a bit harsh, and Joe will too, well, we like to tell you how it is. We don't want to tell you anything that's washy and make you feel nice and cozy inside, but then when you go to use it, it does nothing for you and you get no results. And I'm pretty sure you appreciate that, and you don't want that as well. So who are you speaking to? You have to figure that out before you go online and completely saturate your market. Okay, so think about whose problems are you solving. Think about what the needs of these people are. What are their demographics? Where do they live? Maybe their education. You have to think about all of those things and to get out, I should say, of that, this is for everybody. Really narrow it down. Maybe everybody could take advantage of it, but who's likely to, or who would it most help? Your message to speak to those types of people, and you will be way more effective at getting their attention and then converting them into customers than you are just trying to get any and everybody. All right, so number 2, stop promoting all day long. Have you ever seen anybody online that you actually know nothing about them or their life, but you do know that one product that they're consistently pushing out there, and you kind of just skim over it now? You don't really care. Listen, follow this. It's an 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, it should be like PBS, and 20% of the time, it should be QVC, and I'm referring to TV channels. 80% of the time, you are educating your market, and 20% of the time you spend trying to sell and promote to them. So what could you educate your target with? What kind of information would help them? And even if it's not ones that you've come up with, maybe it's something you've read or another article that you found, put it into your own words, use it as a reference, and share that and educate your market. Okay? And blast all day long about how great your service or your product is. It will get old, people will tune you out and stop listening. And it's one common problem that everybody seems to do except for the experts. Number 3, and this is a shocker alert, stop sending people to your website. Not yet, okay? So people are not going to your site and checking out everything and then whoop, putting things in the cart and buying. If you already built a little bit of a customer base, then yes, they are. They're refilling what they ran out of and stuff like that. But on a larger scale, all of these new people, you don't want to send them to your website. You're going to buy, and you are too small right now to be able to afford to lose a good lead. If they took the time to see your post, saw, and go visit your website, you don't want to lose that person. Because just because they didn't buy right then and there doesn't mean they're not interested. And now you have no way of following up with them at all. Lost, gone. And the chances of coming back. So what you need to have set up then is some type of capture page or landing page. And it needs to not just be one that was slopped together either. It needs to be one that entices people to want to give you their info. If you have no idea what to do with that, you have no idea what I'm talking about, reach out to me or Joe afterwards and we'll give you more details on that. But stop sending them to your website. I would rather you have them call you or something else. Don't lose out on the leads. All right, and number 4, a clear headline. What does this mean? This means I don't care if you're promoting on Facebook, I don't care if you're sending out an email, whatever the case may be, your headline should grab their attention. Who are you speaking to? Don't just blabber on into a paragraph and hope that people spend the time to look at it. It doesn't look clean. It doesn't draw me in. The wrong people could be reading it who would never buy or be interested in what you're selling. Your headline's clear and entices people to read it. That is for your target. All right, and last one, guys, number 5, a CTA, a call to action. Do not waste your efforts online posting something that may be great, a great offer. You took the time, the words look wonderful, and then you forgot the call to action. What are these people supposed to do? Are they psychic? No, they're not. So do you want them to call you? Do they want them to email you? Do you want them to click, comment there if it's like a Facebook post? Do you want them to go to your landing page, not your website? What do you want them to do? If there is no clear call to action, people will get a little confused, not really sure, and people get lazy or they get busy, they get tied up and they forget, and that's it. Experience of others, that if it takes too long, if it takes more than a few seconds for them to figure out what they have to do, I'm going somewhere else, or I'm not going to waste my time, because right now we live in an age where people just want things and they want it right now. So if you don't make it simple for them to know what you want them to do, take action, they won't. Simple rules to promoting online. I know they will help you. Make sure you take some time after this training and figure those things out and start putting them into place, marketing effectively. So thanks for your time. I'm going to now bring on King Joe Cross, and he is going to reveal to you the 7 secrets to 6 figures. So make sure you're ready with your pen and paper. And Joe, come on over.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm glad that you guys are joined us live, and hope you got some value from what Jennifer was talking about, because obviously she knows what she's doing. She's starting to take clients on now, so people are paying her to do all their social media and etc. I might have her to start helping my clients. But first, let me give you a couple of shout outs to Nick, Sheila, Christine. Who else got on the Azia or Azia? How do you say it? Azia? So anyways, so what I want to talk about first of all is that we are going to be starting a membership for anybody that's in Chicago and coming up soon. So you guys want to look out for that. And for some of you guys that registered for the last event, you're going to get a free ticket to that event. But for my Chicago people, we're going to be doing a local live training soon. And as far as this whole training, I want to give you guys some basics of what I've seen and what I've done over and over again that's helped me make six-figure incomes in businesses. I mean, there's been times, guys, where I've made $1 million, over $1 million, $2 million in a business. I've made $100,000 a year in a couple of businesses. It just depends the business model. But one thing I do know, write this down. If you are not making at least a six-figure income in your business, you have a hobby. And if you're not making at least $1 million a year in your business, you have a job. So you guys are either at the hobby level or at the job level. But I'm assuming that if you're on here, you're at the hobby level, which is fine. We all start somewhere. So let's go right into the 7 secrets. And my anthem or my motto for 2018 is live like kings and queens. In 2018, who wants a crown? How many guys out there are kings and queens? So first thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to go through these pretty quickly for time's sake. So, but you guys could always, everybody that's registered for this, whether you become a member, you guys join to be a member, it's only $1. And the good news is for the month of, from now until January, if you get 2 members in, we're going to pay your dues. So if you get 2 members to enroll, we're going to pay for your dues. So you can do this mastermind for free. But in the meantime, let's talk about things that you guys should be doing. If anything, this is going to be something that's going to make you think. And I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. I want you guys to write down some notes and then figure out what are you missing in your business. Now, I know I heard Jennifer talk about a little bit, but let's talk about secret number 1, and that's crafting a message that attracts highly qualified people. Now, I think what most people think a message is just a nice, clever tagline, or maybe a cute little post that you did, or maybe you've seen someone else post it about it, so you think, oh, I'm going to post this too, and you think that's what marketing is. No, when you're crafting a marketing message that attracts qualified people, it almost reads like a single ad, right? So like, single woman looking for man that doesn't smoke, drinks occasionally, and loves video games. See, when you're crafting your message, you need to make sure that people know who it's for, because if you don't represent somebody, then you pretty much are for nobody. And you guys I can give you guys tons of examples, but let's use for example, there's gyms that are targeted to women only. There's Facebook that was targeted to only college kids. And when you craft a message, you should be able to know what you do. So I have a client, and she does real estate attorney. So she's going by the Legal Geek, right? I have Christine Schneider, which is another client of mine. She runs a company called Mailbox to Millionaires. I'm pretty sure it's pretty simple, but here's what I learned when I was driving around the other day. I noticed that every single restaurant, every single store, every single business, not only did they have their name, like Burlington, it used to be a Burlington Coat Factory, and now they've changed it to say, hey, we're more than coats. We now sell everything. But at one time, they were Burlington Coat Factory. And I would see these fancy restaurants, and it would say, let's say Giovanno's, but then in the bottom would say seafood and steak, because we got to know what you freaking do, and we got to know what you're offering to me, so that when I see your message for the first time, I know it's for me, right? Instead of people that do a lot of things online or do things in email, or whether you do mailbox or you're sending out mailings, the bottom line is the message is where all money is. So first thing that you guys got to figure out, do I actually have a message? Have I crafted a message that people know me for? Like, people know me for King Joe Cross. They know Jennifer Nice Girls Finished Last. They know me for the 1%er. They know me for the Comeback Coach. They know me for all kinds of different things that I've come up with, because I've made sure that I spend most of my time crafting a message that says who it's for. So I used to have a website called the King of Network Marketing, and it was how to recruit 61 people in 60 days without stalking your family and friends. See, that is a message. StopChasingCustomers.com. That is a message, because I know for most business owners, they're chasing customers. That's what they do for a living. That's what we all do. In the beginning, guys, in the very painful beginning, we're talking about when I was hosting seminars and nobody was signing up, and I was hosting seminars and nobody was buying from me. I remember it took me 6 before I made my first sale of coaching and consulting. What did I do? What did I change? I changed the message. I changed the way I presented it. I changed the way that I did my order form. I changed the way that I described the event. I mean, these are the kind of things that most business owners lack, and that's why they never will see a 6-figure income. Do you guys know what the percentage of people that make a 6-figure income? The average business owner only pulls in $40,000 a year, or I'm sorry, $35,000 a year, and most business owners never get rich. So the chances of you ever hitting a 6-figure income is slim. But that's because we do it wrong and nobody teaches us the right ways to do it. I think most people think if I just set up a business and then I just open the doors, people are going to pile in. And as you guys know, that doesn't happen. So first thing, secret is you got to craft a message that attracts highly qualified leads. Number two, your reach. This is huge. Are you reaching the right eyeballs? And how far is your reach? I'm going to guesstimate that me and Jennifer's reach is probably a little bit over 100,000 people. That means whenever we do a live training, we do a live video, we do an event, we do a seminar, whatever we do, we have an audience of already of over 100,000 people that we built over the last 7 to 8 years. And for you guys, I want to know, think about this, ask yourself a question. Are you reaching the right people, first of all? And then the next question, are you reaching a broad enough arena? Do you have enough people seeing your message, right? Because here's the thing, you can have the perfect crafted message. You can have the perfect product that can solve the problems of a lot of people. But if it's not, no one sees it, if it's not reaching a destination, then basically you got nothing. So I had a friend of mine today ask me about Smash Media and what's the audience and how far of a reach and how great of the brand is. And I told him, well, in the beginning, you're not focused on building the brand. In the beginning, you're trying to get as many clients, customers, business people, etc. So it's simple. No matter what business I'm building, no matter who I'm helping or a client, I'm trying to get you qualified leads. But the biggest problem that I see that most business owners have, they don't have enough of a reach, right? So when I did this training tonight, not only did this go to an email list of over 1,000, it went on LinkedIn, it went on Twitter, it went on Facebook, it broadcasted to YouTube, it went to Google Plus, it went on Periscope, it went on Instagram. I mean, it went on Snapchat. We promoted it to as many locations and places that we can. The biggest promoters make the most money, and unfortunately for business owners, they get lazy on this part when they don't try to reach out to as many people as they can. And that doesn't mean inbox a bunch of people. That doesn't mean just posting in groups and putting on your fan page and putting on your wall and tagging 100 people. That's just a small part of what I do. And one of the things that I want you guys to understand, for all you guys that are joining this coaching program, it's only $1 right now to join. You don't pay $47 in the first of the month. By that time, you could have already 2 people enrolled with you, and then you don't even have to pay for it. But I want to teach people in 2018 how to make $100,000 a year. Every client that I get now from this point forward, our whole thing is, are you making $100,000 a year? If not, then that's the whole point of what we're building. And if you are making $100,000, then how do we make 250, right? And it just keeps going up. But one thing I know for business owners, they reach out there. In the beginning, when I didn't have anything, when I just started fresh, I had to learn the social media really quick because that's how I was able to get my reach. That's how I was able to get my YouTube videos to go viral, by using social media. But I know this for a fact, guys, when it comes back to the reach, this is some of the stuff they're going to be teaching in this membership every month. We're going to be doing live trainings, live interviews. We're going to be giving you guys stuff, showing you guys missing that's holding you back from making $100,000 a year in your business. And the second thing is your reach. Maybe you have a problem with how many eyeballs see your shit. But also, you might not even have a problem with that, reaching the right eyeballs, and not enough. Number 3, this is huge, guys. Write this down. Tools. All right. If you were to build a house, or if you were into construction and you were going to build a bridge, or you were going to reconstruct a new road, what do you need? You need tools. So write this down. In order to build a house or empire, you must use tools, right? For some of you guys, don't even use half the things that we use. So like, for example, right now, I'm using a lead page thing, or a landing page. How would you call it? I can use this template to create landing pages for myself, for my clients. I'm using a service called Call Loop. So now I don't have to call everybody to remind them to get on the call. I just send one text out and it goes all to them at once. Or if I want to remind somebody of an event, I can send out a voice blast. Or I want to remind somebody of an appointment, I can send a text or a voice recording. See, these are the kind of tools that I've been using for the last 5 years. And you can't make a 6-figure income if you're trying to reach out to people, trying to call people, trying to cold call. You're trying to do meetings. You're trying to remind people of stuff. It's just too much work and you can't do it. So one of the things, secret number 3, is what tools are you using for your business? So if you're going to do email campaigns, then you might want to use MailChimp.com, which is free. It's up to 2,000 contacts. You can upload up to 2,000 contacts and you can send 12,000 emails over that. Trust me, it's cheaper than Constant Contact. It's cheaper than, what's that other one? Either way, it doesn't matter. They all suck. They all horrible. They all cost money, and they're hard to use. And I've never used them. I've been using MailChimp and Infusionsoft. MailChimp is free. Infusionsoft cost me $1,000 to get in and $269 a month. That's at a higher level. But one thing that I know, I'm willing to invest money in tools. So when I first started, I use a service like Hootsuite so that it can post in all the groups all at one time. It can post in all my social medias at one time. 5,000 people at one time than to individually email every single person. I'd rather do a voice recording and then send it out to everybody in my list, or do a text, send it out to everybody in my list, because that's how you make a six-figure income. You got to be able to reach more people faster with less effort, less time, because I'm willing to spend the money, right? I'm willing to spend the money to use these tools so that I never have to do it, right? There's another tool that we use, like Meetup. Meetup's a tool. It's just a way to fill events, right? Or when I use things like certain different apps that we use, like WordSwag. WordSwag is an app that I can use so I can create an image and then put my quote and then put my website or whatever I want to do on that. I mean, there's so many different tools out there to use that you guys probably know of. One of the ones that Christine Schneider, one of my clients, she has a company called Mailbox Millionaires, where with a click of a button, you can take everybody in your mailing address or your address book, and then mail them all out an offer, sending traffic to your website, sending an invite to an event that you're hosting, sending an offer of what you're trying to sell this month, right? If you're a photographer, what's your offer? Consistent offer, and does it work? Too many business owners don't have this offer to get people into the business, even if you got to give away a little bit in the beginning just to build up a client base, because you want a flow of people. You want energy. You want people coming to you. You want to attract. You want everybody to know you. I'd rather in the beginning, I remember when I first did seminars, I was doing them for free just because I wanted to get people in the room. And yes, I'd get 80 to 100 people in the room, but a lot of them weren't qualified, so I started to charge just to qualify my prospects, right? So one of the things that you might be missing and why you're not making more money in the business is because you're not, meaning any challenge you have in your business currently, I'm pretty sure somebody is selling a tool for to use. First time I was able to check out landing pages, it was like, oh my God. First time I was able to use Call Loop, oh, excited. First time I sent my first email campaign, beautiful, because I'm using tools to help me build my database, to help me build my clientele, to help me build a business, just like something that we're doing right now, right? Number 4 is there's no secrets to success, only systems to it. So then, Joe, why did you call the event secrets, the 7 secrets? Well, they're secrets because you don't know about them. But in all seriousness, there is no secrets to success. There's only systems. The only difference between me, you, or somebody else that does business than me, or someone making more money, less money than me, is the way that they systemize their business. Everything from like Monday through Sunday, I have a schedule of when I take calls, when I do appointments, when I go to the gym, when I talk to people. You know how many times, I don't have a cell phone anymore. I mean, it broke, but other than that, I shut it off. But you know how many times that people try to ruin your system? They don't want to follow up with your emails. They don't want to follow up with your text. They want to do it all themselves. But that's the problem. When it comes with business owners, they don't have a system approach to anything. And all a system means is just having something that is, what should I say? How would I call it? Well, I can use McDonald's as an example. Literally a 15-year-old kid can use the machine because it has photos and it has little lettuce pictures now. Used to have the letter L, and then kids got messed up, so they put a little picture of a lettuce on there. But it's a system because now they can put anybody on it, right? And systems is a way to dumb down everything you do in your business so that you don't have to waste so much time. Because here's what it comes down to, guys. Time is money. All of it doing things, and you're not doing the right thing. So example, for maybe today you did some editing on something that you hosted. Well, couldn't you outsource that editing? Because now you're going to spend 3 hours editing that, right? And then all of a sudden you could have been talking to more clients. You could have been reaching out to more customers. You could have been doing more marketing. You could have done more campaigns and make more offers. So you got to learn how to systemize your business to such a way that you can start handing off these things and let other people take over. So I actually have team members that have run my meetup groups for me. I've had people run my social media platforms for me. I've had people do phone calls for me. I've had people upload databases and lists for me. So the list goes on because I systematic. Even from how we did this thing, how we have the lights set up and the screen and the notes and the markers. And when you guys go to my seminars, how I have the table set up, the temperature that I have the room set up, the markers that I use, the certain, I mean, everything. You guys name it. We have a system for everything. My question to you though, do you have a system? Or is your business kind of like tomorrow you wake up and you kind of just go with the flow and see what happens? See, that's the problem. And you guys already know what system means, right? Save yourself time, energy, and money. That's kind of stuff. That's the type of stuff that we're going to be teaching in this monthly coaching program. We're going to be creating masterminds out of it, joint ventures. Hell, I mean, I don't know how many clients of mine that ended up being a client first, and then we end up going to business together or doing some kind of joint venture or working together in some facet, or they speak at one of my events, because that's what business is about. I want to teach you the right way. And then once I teach you, now I'll let you get on my stage, maybe get on one of my webinars or do a live training with me and teach you how to really sell your product or service and teach you how to really basically penetrate a marketplace, because I feel like that's might be what you're missing, right? So next, we're on number 5. Know your numbers. Know your numbers. Know your nut. All right. And back in my old businesses, we used to call it your nut. And your nut meant this is how much money you need to make on a monthly basis to break even. That would be called hitting your nut. But if you don't know that in order to make a 6-figure income, you need to be pulling in at least $2,000 a week, you're already starting off wrong. If you don't know that in order to become a millionaire, you got to make $83,000 a month, then that's the problem. You don't know the numbers. And here's what ends up happening. So for most business owners, why they never hit that $100,000 or more a year business is it could be a couple of things. I'm gonna give you a couple of examples. So could be the wrong vehicle. Maybe that so many transactions you have to do before you can make that kind of money. So for example, there was 2 people who hit me up. One guy hit me up with an energy company, which I have no problem with energy company. My problem is how much do I get paid per transaction? It's very limited. It's in the cents. And then we got people that are all hyped up about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, etc., buying a percentage of a Bitcoin. Well, my problem with that might be the wrong vehicle, because how many transactions would you have to hit in order to make that kind of money? So there's 2 schools of thoughts, right? It could be the wrong prices. You either want to sell at a higher rate, service more, but deal with less, or you want to be the cheapest guy in the market, service more. So you guys get the picture. A lot of the times, the reason why you don't hit those numbers, you don't make more than $100,000 a year or even hit that number ever, is because you don't even know your numbers. You might have everything that you're doing priced wrong. And one of the things that I do with my clients, one of the things I do with people that I do business with, is I literally help them figure out from beginning to end how to make $100,000 a year. And one of the things I noticed that most business owners don't charge enough. Most business owners in the beginning are so desperate just to get customers and clients that they kind of discount themselves just because they feel like that's the way to do it. In the beginning, I used to sell programs from $100 to $300. Now I sell programs anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. And what changed? All that changed was I decided, okay, in order to really help that person, I got to charge more, I got to do more work, I got to consider certain things that are going to happen. So I don't want to cheapskate myself, because you're the only one that can do that to yourself. So one of the things when it comes to making $100,000 a year, know your numbers. Do I have to sell X amount of things? Then how many, let's say that you need to sell 10 units and it comes out to be $8,000. Well, then we got to backtrack it. How many leads do I got to generate first? And then how many of those people are going to end up signing up? So you got to know the numbers. And see, I think most people get lazy about this. I'm just going to keep promoting, and I'll hit a customer here, I'll hit a client here. But see, that's dangerous, right? That's not only dangerous, it's reckless, and you're going to end up quitting and going back to a job, right? Number 6, there has to be more than one entryway. The worst number in business is 1. I'll say that again. The worst number in business is 1. And what this means is, guys, is that most business owners only have one way, sometimes 2, ways to getting new customers. So one of the things you got to think about in your business, which we're going to be teaching in this monthly program, in the masterminds, etc., and you guys always could hire me privately or Jennifer, where you got to have more than one entryway for your customers to get in. So for example, not only do I do webinars, calls, I do events, I do seminars, I speak for other groups, I do mailing. So I have more than one entryway for a customer to come in, for a new client to come in, right? For most business owners, they usually have one, but for the most part, 90% or more of business owners I meet have one way of getting leads. And usually that's referrals or word of mouth. And that's dangerous because now you're counting all your business that these people are always going to give you leads, right? That's a salesman's mistake, right? They don't generate enough qualified people to them. They're too busy relying on the leads. And when you're relying on referrals and leads, what ends up happening, you're constantly chasing customers. You're constantly making phone calls. You're constantly following up, and people that are not even qualified, they don't want to buy what you have to sell or offer anyways. So one of the things that I can teach you from this live training is you guys got to have more than one entryway to get people into the business. So when I did it for if I do it for a client or I do it for myself, I usually draw like a little pyramid, and then I have a like a way of people coming into me. So for some of you guys, you might have been on a webinar of mine, and then we ended up, become client, or one of you guys, or might have gotten a webinar, then came out to a live event and then became a client, or maybe you guys have watched a video, reached out to me, connected with me, and then became a client. So I have more than one entryway. And I tell my clients this, I tell business owners this, I teach it and I preach it. It's just, if you're going to implement it, you have to have more than one entryway for customers to get into the business. You have to have more than one offer for people to come check you out. So like, I'll give you an example. So let's use like just a local restaurant. They might have campaigns they send out. They might have a text campaign they might send out. They might also sell out a mailing campaign. So they have more than one way to reach the people, but they have more than one entryway for you to come in. You might have some people coming in for the 2-for-1 deal, and then you got people that are showing up to the restaurant that didn't even know the 2-for-1 deal existed. They have membership cards for you to come back, or maybe you buy 5 dinner, you get 6 free. So you guys get my point. My point is that if you want to make $100,000 a year in your business, you better have more than one entryway for a business owner to get in, because if you don't have difference people to find you, then what ends up happening is you're only as good as your circle. And for the most part, when they see me business owners, they don't have a big one. Their circle's pretty small. They're limited to how many people they have on Facebook, which most don't pay attention. They're limited to how many connections they have on LinkedIn, which most people don't pay attention to them. So number 6 is have more than one entryway into the business. And the last but not least is you got to have a team. You cannot build a significant business without a team. I used to have someone that was on my team that used to hate that I always hired people to put on our team. And I was like, the reason why you're mad that I'm hiring more people, because then you have to kind of step up your game. So every business I ever had, I've always had team members. I've always had people responsible for maybe calls. I had people responsible for doing the paperwork. I've had people that were responsible for doing shipping. But if you ever want to make a significant income in any business, you have to have a team. I used to have a guy that told me, I have a team. He did loans or real estate. I don't know, real estate, something like that. But first time I met him, he said, I don't want to have a team. I used to have a team. I hate people. They don't do well. They're a pain in the ass, et cetera, et cetera. Well, do you want to be 75 years old at Panera and still selling at Starbucks? I practically told him, like, if you can't build a team, hire me, pay me the money, and I'll hire, recruit, and manage your team. Because no matter what business you're in order to grow, in order to be significant, eventually you're going to have to hire people. Eventually you're going to have to outsource some of the things you don't want to do. Eventually you're going to have to stop being cheap, put a little money and give it to someone else to do, so then you can focus on the things that are most important to your business. That's sales and marketing, campaigns, doing helping build your brand, meeting with new potential joint ventures and clients. That's what your business should be about. But you're not going to get any further than you are today unless you're able and know how to build a team. And I feel like most business owners are just as big as to the extent of their leadership. And most of the time, their leadership is weak, meaning they don't know how to lead people. They don't know how to manage. They don't know how to hire. They don't know how to fire. When it comes to people, they'd rather just not do it. for anybody that's in business, if you guys watch the movie The Founder with Ray Kroc, those guys' businesses and then kind of cut them out, which was kind of ruthless, but that's because he had the vision to see it go further. The most business owners that I meet, they want to keep it small. They want to keep it manageable. The guy that I used to work for, the guy that sued me after I left the business and I went off on my own and made more money than him. He didn't like he didn't like me going off on my own. He didn't like when I used to say we need to build this and we used to have our own shipping department, and because he wanted to keep it small and manageable because he was afraid of growth. And I feel like that's where most people are in business. They're weak on their leadership. So instead of developing that skill and being better at building, recruiting, and finding the right people in the vehicle and getting people to take some of the weight off you so you can focus on other things and make more money for the business, then you're never going to get past 40, 50,000. And the average business owner is making 35,000. So the odds are, if you're watching this, then you're probably around that range. So I hope you guys got a lot from this. I hope you guys have already signed up for the membership for $1. Till January, if you had 2 people to enroll, we'll pay your dues. And definitely looking for hungry business owners. If you're in Chicago, we have an event coming up. If you're in Chicago, you can ask about our mastermind after this to say, hey, thank you for getting on. What was your number one takeaway? What did you guys learn? And what is your greatest weakness right now out of the 7 things that I mentioned? What is it that you need to work on your business? Because until you admit that you have a problem, you're going to constantly struggle and constantly grind to the next week, grind to the next day, grind to the next month. How do I know that? Because I've been there, guys. I've been there, and it's painful. And you kind of give up on yourself. You start to lose confidence. You're not a very happy person. So learn how to build the business right. Learn from the 7 things I taught you. If you're watching the replay or whatnot, I appreciate you guys getting on. And I hope that you guys are one of the few that joined the membership, joined the Club 100. You also get to work with Jennifer and myself. And I look forward to seeing you guys at the top. And if you continue to follow the masses, you'll continue to be broke asses.